to order the Hubbardston Select Board, Monday, August 4th, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. Reminder to everyone who's here, the meeting is being digitally recorded. Please be respectful of each other as well as whoever is speaking or as you're listening. First thing will be your announcements.
Okay. So first up, we have the summer social is coming up. This is through the Parks Department, paid for with a grant from the Cultural Council. This is on a Thursday evening, 8:14, so not this Thursday, next Thursday, at the rec field from 6 to 8. They're going to have a band. I believe it's the Green Sisters playing? Yes. Okay, the Green Sisters are playing, and they're going to have food there available. Also, I believe there's Moon Hill and the winery that nobody can ever pronounce their name from Ocam, you do it.
Agronomy.
Thank you. I can't ever pronounce it. What they said. I believe there is also going to be a bounce house there, along with ice cream. Yes. So it's going to be a fun evening out. It's 2 hours. Everybody is welcome to come on down. Again, it's at the rec field on 8/14 from 6 to 8 p.m. That's a Thursday evening, and it's put on by the Parks with a grant from the Cultural Council. So everyone come and have some fun. Then on 8/23, we have two things. First off, we have the always fun Day Dash at 10 in the morning. So come on down and watch people do dumb things with cardboard and duct tape in Brigham Pond. The deadline to sign up for the Day Dash, if you'd like to enter, is August 18th. So please get your entry forms in, and again, come down and join us on the 23rd down at the Brigham Pond at 10 in the morning. The rain day is the next day, Sunday the 24th. Later on the 23rd, the Rod and Gun is having a summer fest. They start at about 1 p.m. and it's going to go through question mark is the way they wrote it. So till whenever. They're going to have live music, craft vendors, food, and craft beers down there. So I guess they're having other beer vendors come in of some sort. Not totally sure. Again, all that information is on the Rod and Gun. There is a flyer out if you want to check it out. And that is also on the 23rd. On September 6th is the 5K done through the library at 9 a.m. Registration fee is $30 because we're past the early registration fee date. So it's $30. You can find the registration on the Hubbardston Library's website. And again, that is on 9/6. And they start from the school and they run down Elm Street, Berry Road, and then back. And it's a 5K, and it's all fundraising for the library. It's all good stuff. I think it's their 28th annual this year.
I think so.
28th.
Sounds all right.
Mr. Wiggler did it from the very, very beginning.
I have no idea, but he's been doing it for a very long time, so he's got it down like a champ.
It's a well-oiled machine.
Yes,
let
it
me
is.
tell you.
Yeah. On 9/13, the Lions are doing field day from 9 to 2 at the rec field. That is the second Saturday of the month, I believe. So again, that's 9/13 from 9 to 2. Field day will be at the rec field. On 10/4, there is a car show at the Rod and Gun from 10 to 4. That's conveniently easy to remember.
What was that? I'm sorry, what day was that?
October 4th, 10/4, from 10 to 4 at the Rod and Gun, there is a car show. And then on 10/11, you got it? Okay. Non-Such Fest is from noon to 7, and we're doing that at the rec field, and that's going to be the new fun one where we're doing a food truck festival, but kind of artsy style. So we're going to have some fun little things done up, and we're encouraging creativity on this one. So stay tuned for more details on that. So that's all I have, unless Trish has something about the library.
I want it too. Are we ready?
Yes.
Go ahead.
August is going to be a busy month. This Wednesday at 10 a.m. we have Jurassic Park story time with special guest Clever Girl and Jurassic Park Jeep, thanks to Mr. William Shea. We have Dungeons and Dragons this Friday and the 22nd. Thursday at 1 p.m. this week on the Lone Road, we are doing a story time story walk on the Malone Conservation Trail. So it'll be fun to check out, and obviously you guys can check it out at any time. It is now up there. That's what I was doing before the select board meeting. And last but not least, August 21st is our back to school party at the library at 4 o'clock. We are letting off model rockets. The kids will get to come and decorate their model rockets. They're going to put their wishes for the school year inside said model rocket. We're going to put the top on, and then we are going to light them off at the field at the school.
Nice.
Don't worry, fire department knows, police department knows, and the fire department will be on standby. And that's it.
Yes.
If you're going to visit the Dottie Rock Trail, please be aware of your speed. We've gotten a couple of calls about just people hauling when they were going up there to see it. I know it's new, it's exciting, it's handicapped accessible, but please just remember you'll get there.
On Malone Road, it's like a 3-second drive. How are you speeding? How do you even get up to speed?
3 or 4 points.
Really? Okay.
All right, any other announcements or reports from anyone?
Tricia, is it still the story time on Saturday, the
Oh,
16th?
yes, there's still a story time on Saturday, the 16th. Thank you for reminding me. That was,
It's already in my calendar. So.
yeah, it didn't make the list
Yeah, forget
today.
that.
Okay, thank you. Is anyone here for open session? Mike?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mike Stahl, 5 Lombard Road. I know that on your consent agenda has something regarding me, and I don't know if it's appropriate to bring it up now because I don't think it's ready for prime time. I apologize, Nate, that I didn't have time to get to you, but I've been out of town since your Thursday email. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
All right. Anyone else here for open session? All right, we'll move to item 4, the Mushroom Canoe. And before I turn it over to Tricia, I want to thank her for all of her hard work on this. I attended the meeting that they had in terms of the discussion. I didn't realize until that meeting her background in archaeology and artifacts and native history was her degree, and it was the most informative meeting, at least as a fellow historian. So I thank you for all that work. So Trish, you would like to take the lead in this, go ahead.
Yep, so I wrote 2 letters of stewardship that was in your packet for tonight, just kind of outlining what you have asked me to go back to the table with. We do have a virtual meeting tomorrow scheduled with the tribal council and their liaison at 1:30. So the door has been opened. They are excited to communicate with us. So it's just a quick introductory meeting where they are, where they stand on this. And it'll be nice to meet everyone. So if you would like to do tonight, have the letters kind of in our back pocket after the meeting, because I just don't know what they're gonna say in that meeting. But they were very excited that we even just reached out and took it upon ourselves to talk to them and not use the museum as the middleman.
Anyone have any questions for her or anything in regards to this? What they're looking for is for us to take a vote to endorse the contents of both the letters that were sent out by Tricia. That's basically what we're looking for right now. So if there aren't any questions, are there any comments from any? Some of you were at the meeting. Anything would you like to add to this? Okay. Yeah.
Just Ed Blanchard, 23 East Common Pond Road. Just that those great letters, and we look forward to sending one out to the museum because we were going to do it 2 weeks ago, I think, and now if you vote on tonight, one will go out tomorrow.
I think Tricia was saying that her recommendation would be to hold off until they have the Zoom or the virtual meeting tomorrow with the council. And then based on how that goes, if things look like they're still in order to move things forward. For some reason, I think if the council says, thank you so much for your interest, we're gonna take possession of the canoe, then I think we wouldn't necessarily send the letters, but I think as long as they were on board, I think that's Tricia's
I think it's very
suggestion.
important to send the letters because seems like we're going around the museum by going directly to the Nipmuc Indians. And it's really the museum's decision to, first of all, whether they're going to release it or not. But how's the museum gonna feel with the town of Hubbardston going directly to them and around the
Well,
museum?
we've had contact with the museum about this already.
The museum knows that you're having a virtual meeting tomorrow with them?
The museum does not know that I'm having a virtual meeting with the, council. Because when you originally presented this to the select board, you made it sound that you've already spoken with the museum and they were willing to hand over the artifact. They were waiting to hear back from the
They're
Nipmuc
waiting to hear back from them-
council.
from them.
So I felt that it was pertinent for us to reach out as the town to them to open that discussion so that they knew where we stood, we know where they stand, and, 'cause first and foremost, that artifact belongs to them, which I made, that statement in the meeting last.
Okay, so the town is gonna then take control of the project, I would assume?
Like I said, it depends on what how the meeting goes tomorrow.
In full transparency, I authorized Patricia to contact the Nipmuc community. If that was inappropriate, I apologize. It did seem to me as well that what you were saying last time was that the museum was also in a holding pattern, waiting for the tribe to get back to them. So when Patricia noted that through her studies at UMass, she had a connection to that exact tribe, I saw no harm in allowing her to reach out. If that is a issue, I take full responsibility of it, and it's not Patricia's fault.
Do you wanna let the museum know or not?
We can let the museum know.
We can let the museum know, absolutely. Most of the meeting tomorrow is just introductions of who we are and the people in town and
And the
Well,
point
we
of,
won't-
the point of tomorrow's meeting, because when I was attending the meeting with them, and Bill Shea went along with this too, I had mentioned from a diplomatic point of view that it appeared that we were going around the tribe. So I felt that we should reach out to them, because the ultimate, as Tricia stated, the canoe belongs to the tribe initially. And as much as we were reaching out, if the tribe wanted it, or wanted to just put it back into Comet Pond, they can do that.
I understand that.
So we wanted to be diplomatic by getting them involved and say how we would want it to be able to display it, but recognizing that they ultimately own it, it's theirs, and we're just displaying it, and Bill was very much in favor of that also.
So we'll pull back then and have no further communication with the museum and let the town handle it through the.
Tomorrow will tell you a lot.
So,
Yeah.
Ed, we're not trying to do a you guys or the town thing, we're a team. Like, we want to move forward and work together. The conversation with the tribe is going to be very beneficial, because it's going to get us an answer that we wouldn't have received until significantly down the road, had we sent the letters and then let the museum do their museum red tapey thing and then reach out to the tribe, and the tribe says no. By doing this, we're going to be able to know right from the source, at least, if the Nipmuc tribe is going to be interested in this artifact or not. And we will be able to plan accordingly.
Yes, we
I'll
do.
set there, yeah. Susan Worth, 66 Root Road. This meeting tomorrow then is virtual, and it's gonna be on the website, so somebody can click in?
no, this is a Zoom meeting with just the tribal council,
And,
myself,
okay.
Mr. Bill Shea, who in past talks, and a member of the select board.
Okay, all right, just wondering.
Yeah.
It wasn't clear to me.
Yes,
Yes, Mr.
Gary.
Gary Kangas, Historical Commission. Yeah, the land that Hubbardston is on was purchased from the Norquec Indians in 1687. So is there any proof that this canoe came from the Nipmuc?
I do believe that, Love, her name is Love Richardson, the liaison from the Nipmuc community. She does the PR side. I do know that they are looking into exactly that, is if it belongs to them, if it was a Nipmuc canoe. She's looking into the history of it. They're not going into this uninformed. So,
We question that too, because Massachusetts has a map where the Nipmuc Indians were, and the Nipmuc Indians were not in Hubbardston. But they had some small groups that were here, there, and other places, so it could be, but
Now, Mr. Blanchard.
there's no definite proof.
What brought you and Mr. Shea in the museum to believing this was in fact a Nipmuc Indian tribe artifact?
We have never described it as a Nipmuc canoe because we didn't know. And all of our communication with the museum was a dugout canoe from Comet Pond. So, it very well may be, and I don't know how they identify things like that. Maybe Tricia knows better how they do that.
So if they
Serial
say-
numbers usually.
Very funny.
So,
But
it's
the
a-
Nipmuc on the side?
yeah, so if they, here's a question, so if
I just have
that
a
tribe
picture
says
of the
no,
two, if anybody wants to see a picture of
it's
it.
not theirs, are we gonna, do we need to go down a rabbit hole to figure whose it is? Is this gonna be like the
So-
never ending?
it could be, but the best thing about a federally recognized tribe like the Nipmuc Indians is that they can reach out to the smaller, non-federally recognized tribes to see what they would like to do. Sometimes they take stewardship for the other tribes that have not made federal standpoint, or they would know enough to say, oh, this is such and such tribe, we'll reach out to them on your behalf. What the goal of the meeting tomorrow is to create a relationship and have that relationship. So they know that if they decide, okay, well, we would love for you to have it on loan as part of your historical museum, God forbid they ever ask for it back, we would make sure that it got back to them quickly, but without a relationship, we can't do that,
I've seen that picture before.
so.
I believe so.
I think the museum was, is
Yes.
very knowledgeable as well regarding the ownership, has to go through some Indian tribe, so.
Mhm.
But they were working on that with the Nipmucs.
So I think we're all set. We're gonna figure out the connection or not connection, hopefully within the next 24 hours. And based on tomorrow's meeting, Tricia will send out letters. If we get through tomorrow's meeting and they say, this isn't our canoe, then that's one less letter to send out and easier relationship with the museum to have.
Right.
So, but we're on it, we're still interested, just like we were at the last meeting, to support this endeavor. And we're doing it through this channel of taking the step of contacting the Nipmucs, having communication with them, and then sending out both these letters, if so.
And we need a
Tuesday.
motion to endorse the
So
contents
the letter
of
will
both
go to the
letters.
museum if the Nipmuc Indians say,
We will CC the
ours.
museum on whatever letter goes out to the tribe, or vice versa. If we write a letter to the museum, we will CC the tribe. Like, everybody, we're all in on this now. We're gonna figure this one out.
thank you.
Motion, so moved.
Okay, we have a motion, is there a second?
Second. What is the motion? I didn't hear a
The motion is for us to endorse the contents of both letters and authorize the continued coordination.
That's based on the validation that this is indeed a Nipmuc canoe.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, anything else? Motion made in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Say
Katie
abstain.
didn't vote.
Oh,
I'm gonna abstain from
I'm
this,
sorry.
I still have concerns, so I'm just gonna stay out of it, let you guys decide
All
what to
right.
do with it.
One
Just
abstention, okay?
wanna stay out of it.
I'd like to publicly thank Mr. Blanchard, Mr. Shea, Patricia, the Historical Society, the Historical Commission, everybody for getting involved in this. It's come together really quickly, and I appreciate you all showing up for historic preservation in the town of Hubbardston.
Anything else? All right, moving on. The Wachusett Veterans Service District, so I'd like to introduce Director Corey Hasselman and
Corey, you can come up
Corey.
to the table.
join us and take the lead on this?
So, Select Board, this is Director Corey Hasselman of the Wachusett
District.
You guys changed the name since the last time I knew about it. So this is Wachusett Veteran Services District. It is the City of Gardner acting as the lead for several communities doing veteran services. I will let Director Hasselman explain, but I would like to express my gratitude either way for Corey coming out of his way and working with me, and this came together really quickly. I would like to put on the record that our Veteran Service Officer, Mrs. Lauren Wright, is going to be done at the end of the year. So even if this is a issue that we table for thought or discussion, I appreciate Corey coming here tonight. We do have a little bit of time since we will be remaining with Lauren until the end of the year, as she is going to be serving overseas beginning next April. So this also, if the Select Board voted tonight or another night, would need approval from the Gardner City Council as well. And they meet every other week, so I wouldn't see a large issue on that side. I have watched Director Hasselman literally grow up. We went to high school together. We have been in communication for our adult life as well. We run into each other at Market Basket 2 Sundays in a row. So I thank Corey for coming here today, and I will pass it on to him to explain what's going on.
Great. So again, I'm Corey Hasselman, Director of Wachusett District. We currently have 6 towns part of our district. I believe that was in the breakdown that Nate had sent out. We have Ashburnham, Ashby, Princeton, Westminster, Gardner, and we just recently had Winchton join our district as of May. We have 3 full-time staff members, and we are available, the city's 37 hours. Fridays are, short days, but everything else is 8 to 4:30. The way it works with our other towns is we administer the benefits. We send the warrants to whichever town is the ones that actually pay the warrants, depending on how many Chapter 115 clients. I know Hubbardston, I believe at this moment has none. But that is definitely something that we would like to look into and make sure that there are no qualifying veterans, and if there are, get them on the rolls so that way they're getting the benefits they earned and deserve. When we do work with veterans from other towns, there's multiple different ways we work with them. One, they could come to Gardner, whatever, if that's convenient for them. We can meet them in their town hall or library. At Ashby, we meet in the library sometimes, or I go directly to their home. I like home visits. It makes them comfortable, makes them more willing to discuss VA claims that are a little bit more sensitive potentially, and then also, barring mobility issues or anything like that, it's convenient for them. I'm not going to have someone struggle to get to me. That's just not fair to the veterans. Other than that situation, I currently already do the VA claims for Hubbardston for the most part, just because Lauren is part-time. She's not accredited with the VA, so a lot of the Hubbardston veterans come to me as I'm one of the accredited VSOs in this area, so I do most of the VA claims as it is. I just can't, unfortunately, advocate for the Chapter 115, as that is restricted to the town that provides that. I do refer them back to Lauren if that is something that they qualify for when I meet with them for VA claim. This would just kind of streamline that process, as unfortunately, based off of Lauren's schedule, it makes it difficult to sometimes meet with her. The only other thing is flags. When we order flags, Gardner pays for them all up front, and then the cities or respective towns pay for their portion, and we deliver them, or the town comes and picks them up, depending on their Memorial Day situation.
And we've done that inadvertently for the last 2 years anyway. So
Yeah,
thank you, Corey.
of course.
So they bailed us out.
They bailed us out 2 years in a row.
Yeah, well, when people forget, that's what happens.
No, you're supposed to order the flags in like September, October.
Like, I have a notification from this year's Stabot, because I had to call Corey this year, and I have a notification in my calendar to order the flags in 2 weeks.
Yep, I was gonna say, I already putting mine in middle of August, so that's.
That's what you told me.
Yeah.
The calendar reminder, I was like, ah.
Anyone have any questions for Corey?
Yes.
Go ahead. Pete.
Being a vet, being a partially disabled vet, so I've been trying for 2 years to get redo my disability and they've had no luck in Hubbardston, so you're the man I need to talk to.
I'll give you my card right now.
Thank you very
Yes,
much.
sir.
So can you just briefly
Thank you.
explain how veteran services are working today and what the change is gonna be? Should we, go with this proposal that you're suggesting tonight?
You should hit on your staff as well. I think that changes a lot.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, I do have 3 full-time staff, myself as part of that, and it makes it so no veteran is missed, right? Whether I'm busy, or my assistant director is busy, there's always someone that's available to them. It doesn't affect the way the veterans in Hubbardston would be served. If anything, I think it improves it, because it makes this available, 40 hours a week. I work more than 40 hours a week. I live and breathe veteran services, so even if it was a weekend and I had to meet someone, that's what I do. It's what I live for. So I think I can only base what I hear from the veterans in the community. Unfortunately, as I mentioned, Lauren is difficult to reach because part-time VSOs are difficult to reach. It's just an unfortunate
Now,
thing.
how many communities is Lauren servicing today?
Just Hubbardston, I believe. But she also has a full-time job outside of VSO.
And we'd be jumping into the district, which would be 5 communities, I think.
We currently have 6.
We'd be one of 6.
So Hubbardston would be 7 if it was approved.
But the difference is you're at this full-time.
Correct. We have 3 full-time staff.
I think that in and of itself is a huge plus,
Huge.
is the
Very good.
availability.
And for the extra $1,000 it's gonna cost, we're already spending $64,500 for the current one we have, which is part-time. You know what I mean? Like I said, I know my issues I've had, and it hasn't been good.
The earned value, without speaking ill of those who are not available to be here to defend themselves, the ROI and increased value would be pretty big. And the town of Hubbardston, while Tricia and I have tried our very best, sometimes they want to talk to a veteran services officer, and it has been difficult, and Lauren has not meant to make anything difficult
No,
or
not at all.
anything
This
like
is-
that. Part-time services, you get part-time people, and you get prioritized based on their part-time status. So I think going with Gardner would open up a new opportunity for the veterans of Hubbardston to get the service they deserve and actually require.
I mean,
And also in addition, as he pointed out, if they can't get to Gardner, they will come here or go to their home, and I think that's another plus too.
You're going from 2-hour availability a week to 40-hour availability a week with home service if needed.
Yeah.
So it's a win-win.
Yes.
in my eyes.
And what's our cost today?
$4,328 for fiscal year 2026, starting January
January
1st,
1.
based off of Lauren, her switch in full-time service.
So, long story short, this year would be completely covered with no swaps anywhere because of when Lauren would leave versus the half year we would need to pay for. And next year, there would likely be, once all is said and done, a $500 to $1,000 increase in the veteran services line, which would be well worth it for the additional service hours that the people of Hubbardston would be receiving. If, in full transparency, the $6,500 that we paid for part-time services versus the, let's call it $8,000 that we would pay for full-time services is a obvious choice, but that is up to the select board. If you would prefer, I can work with Mrs. Wright to ensure that there is there's another part-time person that can take the reins from her if that was the direction the Hubbardston Select Board wanted to go.
And just for transparency, because I know staffing did come up, the Executive Office of Veteran Services does have a district guideline that is based off of the population of the whole district, not just veteran community. And I believe Nate had sent that out in the email to the select board. Even taking Hubbardson in, if Hubbardson chooses to join the district, we are within guidelines with our 3 full-time staff.
I have a couple operational questions, if I could. So, first of all, when did the district form?
23.
Okay. So you guys have added a couple towns since it started?
Yes.
Right, and you said you're still within the operational guidelines of the state's mandates. What, do we have records right now, Nate, of how many people total we're providing service to? Because I know we talked about, no one's taking 115, but then right now I think Corey's taking on some of our folks if they have questions.
So, yes, but there's different, I'll let him explain the different types of services a veteran is qualified for.
Right, so the Chapter 115 is the low income assistance program paid for by the town, reimbursed 75% from the executive office.
18 months later.
Yeah, yeah. And then outside of that, there's, property tax abatements, excise tax waivers, depending on what Hubbardson has adopted. There's welcome home bonuses, state annuity, VA claims. There's a plethora of other benefits that the veterans from Hubbardson are currently coming to us for, that we can do at a federal and a state level, just not at a town level, from the Chapter 115 standpoint. So we are helping them with all the state and federal things. It would just be, the only operational change would be the Chapter 115, which as of right now, there are no clients, but I do believe there are some Hubbardson veterans that probably qualify that, unfortunately just have not been reached out to.
Now with all of those towns, how do you do outreach, right? So Lauren is very good, she came to all of our parades, all of those pieces. If you have this number of towns and there's only 3 full-time staff, and funny thing, Veterans Day is the same day for all towns.
Yep.
They don't usually say we're gonna stagger it. How do you deal with that?
So we do outreach events. So the senior centers, we host events where we talk about veteran services, usually work with the senior center director. We have worked with the library before, so just various other city departments, and just making sure that we host events and we go meet and just discuss what the veterans in that area are entitled to.
Okay, what about the parades? Are we not on the list because we're one of the smaller communities and we're the last to join?
So the only parade that we actually partake in is Gardner, and that is just because I'm the president of the Gardner Veterans Council as well. And again, like you said, they all fall on the same day. It's not necessarily a priority thing, it's just Gardner is the lead city of the district, and that's where we are housed out of.
Okay. So as far as a couple of things in the agreement, so Nate, I don't know if Corey's the right, well, actually, here's the first question. So because you guys are a district, you guys operate financially separate from the town, correct?
No.
No, you operate, how does that work?
So-
I understand regional dispatch.
They're a department of the city of Gardner that has
Okay.
MOUs
Has formed
with.
through an IMA,
Yep.
a district, okay. So for some reason, if Gardner wanted to increase costs, we
You would have to.
get the results
Get
in
stuck with the bill.
Well, you would,
So-
we can't based off of the IMA without notice, and then Hubbardston decides if they
Yeah,
want to
like
continue.
the animal control.
Yeah, it would be very,
Yeah.
very similar to the animal
Yes.
control MOU.
Okay, so what happens when, let's say this never happens, but we've been involved with enough IMAs, and this has often happened, right, where something's not working, right? I was reading through, the dispute resolution says, okay, well, you should negotiate first in good faith, and then you should look at other means prior to litigation, but it doesn't actually say and spell out any of those pieces. Is that something, and I don't know how involved you are in that part of the agreement, or if that's something, city council and legal's dealing with, and,
So, I have written the IMA based off of all of our other agreements. So there are ways to rescind your town from the district if that's what you wanted to do. If you were to join, I'm trying to get to the piece.
So, again, you know, a lot of this comes from some of the hiccups we've had in past ones. So like section 8 talks about reports, right? Gardner shall, upon Hubbardston's request, provide Hubbardston with reports on the services, provide annual reports of expenditures and revenues and so forth. Do you have any leeway to adjust any of these MOUs based on the town? So can we specifically say that you shall provide us these reports on like 2 dates of the year? So we automatically get them, because what we've had happen before is it says shall, and then we sit there for 6 years?
Well, we-
Requesting those reports and we never get them.
So I'm not sure necessarily what reports you would need, but we do a end of the year report with the other towns. The towns send me an email, say, hey, it's that time of year, can you send us a report? And I send a report of all the VA claims, chapter 115, that has been managed from that town.
So I think right here, so see how it says annual reports of expenditures and revenues for all accounts and so forth? So I think one of the things, right, as a municipality, it's our job, especially as the policy setters and the elected board, to make sure that the monies that we pull from our taxpayers is being used properly,
So
right?
I don't actually have, I don't necessarily control the accounts. Hubbardston still has all control of the accounts. The only account that I would help control would be the chapter 115 if anyone was put on the rolls.
But we're paying the city of Gardner money, right? And they're using that money to compensate yourself, pay for the administration expenses, administrative expenses of the department and so forth. And that's when things, right? We had this problem with dispatch. Like, I'm having flashbacks to
Okay.
IMA's gone wrong.
I can hear you, I hear you.
So like, when I'm asking for this, I'm not asking for this because I anticipate there being a problem. I just want us to get automatic reports, so A, we don't have to remember, but B, so we have them and then we say, okay, there's no problems, we're good, as opposed to literally we chased.
Veteran Services is part of our annual town report process that Patricia reaches out to every year at the beginning of the year. So was dispatch, and they kind of ignored it, but, so I understand your point,
But
So can
more
you-
so than that, I guess my concern isn't the annual town report piece. My problem is in the past, whenever anyone said, hey, we're interested in your operations, we wanna see where, when we pay you money, where does it go? We'd like to see how that department funding has been spent, you know, like.
So if you're referring directly to the part that Hubbardston pays Sue Gardner, that just goes into the general fund for Gardner and then just disseminated from there wherever the mayor
And
and
the
city council
city
seem
of
fit.
Gardner does do a decent job with their budget book explaining the exact breakdown of veteran services. Imagine how hard it is when I present to the 5 of you, there are 11 of them. So they ask a lot of questions and it really is broken down pretty substantially. It goes through a subcommittee level before it gets to the council floor as a whole. So there are opportunities and public documentation to review the city's veteran services budget.
And currently, I get no breakdown of what the other towns, like what that money goes to. It goes again into that general fund and then whatever the city decides to use it for.
So I guess I'm really looking at the expenditure side, right? I wanna see your department, Veteran Services. I just wanna get a copy of, you know, year to date, 6 months in and year end, what was expended, right? So let me give you an example. This is all things gone wrong, right? So say we pay 8,000 for our town, everyone else pays their amount, let's say the total amount is 100,000. But at the end of the day, Veteran Service Department has only spent $60,000 for the whole year. I wanna then know where the rest of the 40,000 went. I understand to your point, it goes into general revenue and it's the mayor's job on the expense side. But usually when you're doing something, especially as an IMA or service to other communities, it's almost like a wash. You want to balance, right? So if we're paying so much money and the money's not going to the department that we're paying for that service for, we wanna know why. I imagine, you know, everything seems to be kosher and everything's great in Gardner and there's probably never an issue, but because we've had such bad experience in the past,
Well, the $8,000 is no expenditure that City of Gardner Veteran Services is paying. It's me coming here and making sure all your veterans are taken care of. It has nothing to do with the City of Gardner itself.
so I totally understand that. right? So I see things in a larger picture,
We're
right?
not, we're not meeting
So-
in the middle of your.
No, we're not.
We're
I'm
not
gonna try,
meeting.
Never gonna meet.
No.
So I totally understand that, and I'm not interested specifically in where our $8,000 go. I wanna see what the Veteran Services Department of Gardner is spending their money on, because of the money that they're spending, $8,000 of that's coming from our taxpayers. And I just wanna make sure that overall, that, you know, things are being spent in a responsible manner, and that things are washing out at the end of the day. He's trying to find it on thing. I don't wanna have to go look for the report, Nate, I just want it sent over, is all I'm asking on that. Alright, and you said there's a spot in here for us to
There is a
divorce?
way to leave, you would just have to find it.
Divorce.
We haven't
Is there a
even
nicer
joined
way to
yet.
say that? Well, no,
Rescind.
well, we have term, I see cost sharing.
Yeah, so under term, unless, so from January 1, 2026, ending June 30th, 2028, unless or until terminated by the parties hereunto on written notice, such notice shall be provided 180 days prior, so you are allowed to rescind if there's a 180-day notice.
Just like your other line,
Yeah.
that went bad.
Well, I think it was the building department.
Oh, there's so many of them, I can't
Really,
even.
really were.
So Heather, the city of Gardner also runs this open checkbook deal.
Okay.
And it's on July 17th, so they're pretty up to date with their expenditures being put on the web.
Okay, but does it also give me a, you know, we budgeted X dollars for each of these major lines,
Yes, ma'am.
salaries? Okay, alright, good.
They must break it down by department.
They do.
They
They're-
do,
they're-
that should
Be
be
they-
within the
just
department by, okay.
You can break it down on here by vendor, you can break it down by description.
Again, I just have flashbacks to going back prior to Nate, prior to David, when Ryan was here and trying to find numbers from the regional dispatch. Because, so what ends up happening, right? Ultimately, we get an assessment. Gardner says, hey, we figured out how much it's gonna cost you next year for your veteran services, it's $10. The next year it comes back and they say it's $32. And we're like, whoa, it went up so high, where are you spending the money? We wanna know how that comes about, right? And
So
that was
that-
some of the other issues we've ran into in other towns. The number would just randomly appear and we would have no idea how it got that high or what numbers
No
were being spent on.
transparency.
And if you
So the
ask,
current
you get
agreement
it.
is a 3% COLA increase year over year. That is
Okay.
in the agreement, it's a 3%.
Okay, so all of a sudden, let's say chapter 115, we get 100, everyone moves into Hubbardston because we
Yep.
become so veteran friendly and there's space
I
for
hope
them,
that happens.
they say, come on in. And you know, everyone needs chapter 115 benefits, our numbers go through the roof, but our cost stays the same. There's nothing in here that provides you an ability to recalculate.
So it's based off of population.
Okay.
That's
So,
what I thought.
yeah,
Which,
so,
that
we
was-
only have so many homes, we're just swapping.
so if
people.
there was a million residents that all of a sudden showed up in Hubbardston, which obviously would not be feasible, but then yes, we would have to reconsider, because our whole district would have to get reestablished based off of the new population amount.
Okay.
That probably added a couple of bodies into your,
A couple,
to your office.
give or
So
take.
Heather, in the year of fiscal '25,
Yeah.
the city of Gardner Veteran Services Department spent 82.5% of their budget on direct services to veterans, 8.1 in other, which I'm assuming is administrative and pay. Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare, $21,000 or 4.3%, and $25,000, 5% to the Montechusett Veterans Outreach Council, which is a nonprofit for veterans in the city of Gardner and this region.
And just for transparency, the Harvard and the Montechusett Veteran Outreach are also directly for our clients that are housed by Montechusett's Veteran Outreach and medical reimbursements through Harvard Pilgrim.
Alright, so go back to the 8.1.
So we have professional development, which is our annual training that we have to go to.
Yep.
And then we have, obviously, our IT provides me laptops to be able to come to veterans' homes.
But that doesn't include wages for your staff, the 8.1, correct?
I'm not 100% sure exactly what the 8.1 is, because there was no breakdown there.
I'd
but-
be remiss to think that it doesn't include wages.
Yeah, I would imagine it does, because the 502,000 does seem like my full budget.
Okay.
I can tell you what I make, $65,000 a year.
And then you have
It's on the annual report,
two
so.
other people, so.
You're on
Oh,
the
so I
page.
get to bother you come
glad
November
you
for
recruited.
annual report?
I'm
Am
sorry?
I bothering you come November for, come fall for your annual report?
Me or Tab or, yeah, anyone in this, yeah,
perfect.
absolutely.
I have no further questions.
Okay.
Your Honor.
So, I just have,
Okay,
so
go
it is based off of population in town or population of veterans?
Of town, and that's set by Executive Office of Veteran Services, not our district specifically.
$2 per person.
$2 per person, yep, and then 3% over, COLA yearly after that.
Any other comments or questions before?
Yeah, I have a question. So you said that, you know, the towns reach out to you annually to see what the money they've contributed has been spent on.
Not for the money, no. They asked me for a report of what we've done, but no one has ever asked me,
So
where
it's
did our
not-
money go?
It's not like a specific balance sheet where town XYZ is saying, hey, we gave you this much money, can you show me what you did with that money we gave you?
No, because that money, again, like I said, is
We would
distributed
retain
by.
Into a general fund.
Right, all the other accounts besides that 8,000 that Hubbardston has for veterans benefits would still be managed under Hubbardston. I don't touch it.
Because Corey would do a warrant to pay X, Y, and Z veteran or X, Y, and Z service out of the lines that we already have. It would be similar to what Lauren is already doing with increased service time and increased staffing. We
So you would
still-
know specifically where
Yes,
that
we
money
would,
is
and
going.
right now, there are not many dollars coming out of that account. I do firmly believe that there may be one or two Chapter 115 veterans out there that if we went to them with the right set of circumstances, they would consider it, but seeing as Hubbardston does not have many apartment or rental units, that really cuts down on the number of veterans eligible for that because it's a qualification.
Well, you know, to Heather's point, as long as you have visibility
Yep.
And
to
we,
where our contributions are going, then I'm fine with it.
the only time in which that I would be concerned, right now with the veteran service budget, all $7,500 of it, I'm not concerned about that in the slightest. If we were to see a substantial uptick in Chapter 115 eligible veterans, I would be concerned, A, about how we could pay for that in the current moment, and B, budgeting for it in the future. But that is a situation that we could deal with without Gardner, without Corey, anything at all. Like, if 7 to 10 Chapter 115 benefit eligible veterans walk through the door, we A, have to take care of them, and B, I don't know how we would do that.
Right.
And I mean, to Nate's point, unfortunately, regardless of the town, those have to be paid. It's a mandate from the state, so.
And what's our opt-out process? Is there any
It's a
challenges?
180-day notice, if you want to terminate. And that is in the IMA, I believe it was section 4, which is one.
Same with the city of Gardner,
Yep.
180 days both ways.
Yeah. 180 days prior to the end of that current fiscal year.
Anything else before I ask for a motion? Okay, then could we have a motion to approve and enter into the IMA regarding membership in the district effective January 1, 2026, pending Gardner City Council agreement?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any further discussion?
Yeah, question, maybe it was said, this is a one-year contract we're getting into? 3-year contract.
2.5, technically.
Okay.
Yep.
Motion's made and second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion passed. Corey, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Corey.
Yeah, thank you.
Hopefully I
Thank you
wasn't
for
too
what-
Thanks for taking my
No,
questions.
please. Thank you for what you do, it's very important.
Thank you. Thank you for your service.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the consent agenda, but before getting into that, we're gonna take the minutes separately since certain members, including myself, were absent in places. So we're gonna take each of the minutes separately, so if we could get a motion to approve, I'll take them by the date, June 16th, 2025. Heather was absent, everyone else was here, so could I have a motion to accept those minutes?
So moved.
Motion made, second, to accept the select board minutes of June 16th. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Yes.
Okay. July 21st, we need a motion to accept the minutes. Myself and Chris, we weren't here, so we will abstain. So could I have that motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion's made and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain?
Abstain.
Abstain. Okay.
Mr. Chair, at the suggestion of Mr. Michael Stoll, can we please remove Mr. Michael Stoll's name from the consent agenda?
Okay.
Long story short, Mike came to me last week wanting to confirm the unofficial appointment that the select board made of him in January and set a more official set of terms. It seems the email that I sent to him on Thursday, which wasn't reviewed until today, has some changes that are necessary, so I would like the opportunity to do that with Mike.
Okay. So cross that out. Now, on the consent agenda, let me go over it with everybody, and then if there are any holds or questions afterwards, just let me know. Under the administrative matters, we had the NJ Library heat pump sign off, mainly to authorize town administrator to execute final documents and approve the incentive payment. The installation is complete. Town is eligible to receive $26,845 mass save incentive payable directly to the Energy Conservation Incorporated. The plow truck acceptance, authorize town administrator to accept the bid and to execute sale documents. Under personnel and committee actions, we have Brendan McDonald, a resignation, DPW truck driver laborer, effective 8/14/2025. Nicholas Melnati, appointment as a part-time police officer, a rate $23.46, effective August 8/4/2025. Isaiah Gonzalez, wage authorization firefighter EMT on call. His pay rate $17.43. Joseph Afonso is a resignation for the Quabbin Regional School Committee, effective 8/4/2025.
Mr. Chair, can we also remove Mr. Grady? The Agricultural Commission has received a second applicant who would like, and they would like to review both
okay,
both
so-
candidates for the position.
Cross them off. So those names that I just mentioned, are there any holds or questions on any of those?
Yeah, I've got a question.
Go ahead.
I don't understand this plow truck situation. What's happening here? Are we buying a truck or are we selling a truck?
So the town meeting and then town election authorized the purchase via debt exclusion of a used plow truck for $200,000. After that authorization, Director Brown did the RFP and bid process that was needed to make it legitimate. With that being said, the only people that submitted are Bill's Used Cars out of Templeton, the establishment that we had previously been in contact with. So it's $185,000 for the used truck, and then there will be $15,000 worth of radio and necessary communications equipment installed in the vehicle once it is ours. The director has noted that he is not going to aim to spend every single penny, so if there's a grand or a couple $100 left, that will go back.
Aye.
So, I don't understand this bid from Bill's Used Car. How does this work? People have these trucks and
No.
they offer them up to us?
So
or-
Massachusetts procurement is convoluted at best. And even though we knew that we were going to go with Bill's Used Cars, you are still mandated by procurement law to put it open for a set period of time so that it is a open and transparent opportunity for other car dealerships to make an offer. We did actually have Townsend Ford reach out, but they could not get into the same area that we needed them to be competitive with the bid from Bill's Used Auto.
Okay, so we've got multiple people wanting us to sell this truck, and Bill's was the least expensive one, and that's why we wanna buy this particular truck.
We were legally forced to go out to bid for a truck that we knew where we wanted to purchase it from,
Right.
and met those legal requirements. The company in which we were already in talks with and had a quotation from was the only company that submitted a proposal for us to buy a truck from their establishment. Other dealerships had the same opportunity.
Very good, thank you.
Okay, anything
It's
else?
confusing, and I think it's confusing on purpose.
It's painful.
I called him earlier today, I was like, are we selling a truck?
No.
What are we doing? Very confusing.
Anything else on that?
Chief, can you shed any light on what the process looks like from your end when you buy a cruiser, or? Because I know if we bought it from the state bid list, it would be easier.
Correct. I buy from the state bid list.
Just so you don't have to
Thank
do
you.
this.
Thanks, Chief.
All
But
right.
otherwise, yes, I'd have to get bids from other places if I didn't want to go
Because it's
off the
private
state bid
vendor.
list.
And we did explore if Salvador's could get a comparable or even more affordable vehicle, and they could not.
What are you talking about?
For,
Not this plow truck.
no,
We looked around at during,
for the plow truck too?
for everything.
Oh.
So,
We're
so to
doing-
summarize, Nate, just make sure I have this clear, so in accordance with chapter 30B, our procurement laws of the Massachusetts general laws, we went out to bid.
Yes.
Put everything out we need to do. We received one response. The response met all of the mandatory criteria, and you're now before us asking the select board to award this bid for the purchase of this vehicle from Bill's.
Bill's Used Auto.
Thank you.
Take a long way around.
Anything else?
Did you look at all the docs?
Yes,
You didn't get confused?
no.
I was confused.
All right, if there aren't any other, excuse me, under the consent agenda, could we, have a motion to authorize town administrator actions for the library heat pump and plow truck? And motion to also approve the personnel actions.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion made and second, any discussion, questions on that? All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion passed. Okay, moving along.
Mr. Chair, in
Yes.
the name of the fact that we have legal counsel online and we're gonna pay for them whether we talk to them or not, I am suggesting and making only the suggestion that anything that would require more than a couple of minutes of discussion be tabled until your next meeting.
Well, we could move the goals. Can we move those?
We can move the goals.
The first meeting house deed,
That one should be quick.
Yeah, that'll be
Yeah,
quick,
sure.
and I have to
OCAM
change
request
their name
on the
it
batteries.
anyway.
Everybody read those things?
Yep.
And the meeting house preservation committee, that we could put that on?
I think we should put that one off.
Okay, so let's take the first two items here. First of all, the meeting house deed, we need a motion to accept the deed. This finalizes the transfer of 2 Main Street to the town as authorized under Article 21 of the June 2nd, 2025 annual town meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and second. Is there any discussion on that? All in favor?
Mr.
That's a question, Mike.
Mr. Chair,
Yeah.
if I may. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mike Stahl, 5 Lombard Road. Is it one parcel of land in the deed?
It should be both of them.
Should be, so there's 2 parcels.
I don't want to speak to anything that I did not read in great detail, but I will get you that answer, Mike.
Thank you very much.
If you
Appreciate it.
It's right there.
Does that include it doesn't include the cemetery, does it?
Cemetery already owned by
Town
the
already,
town.
town already owns the cemetery.
Town already owns the
That is
cemetery.
shown as lot two
Thank you.
on the plan entitled Plan of Lots Prepared by the Town of Hubbardston, dated blah, 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 blah. So it says shown as lot two.
Lot 2.
Thank you.
And then for the select board, just so you know, the attorney has to change some of the names because they put Mrs. Hubbard's mother on there. So they're gonna change some of the names. I will bring this to your next meeting to be signed. We're gonna do a ceremonial sign-in with them in front of the church that evening anyway, just to acknowledge the transfer and the special occasion that it is.
Okay. Could we have a motion to accept the deed?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any discussion, questions? All in favor?
I guess
Oh.
I'm hearing some questions about what's going on here, parcels of land. Are we sure all our ducks in a row are on this? Are
100%.
Clear and,
Yeah, that's legal's
Yes.
contract.
okay.
Yep. Okay, so once again, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay. Let's move to the item on the OCAM request. Request for regional support related to OCAM's opposition to a proposed 180 MW battery energy storage system. May consider a regional support letter. Peter, you wanna talk, you asked to put this on, would you like to say anything about this?
No, I think it's important, because of the watershed which we're part of, and that's the reason, OCAM's off the deep end about this, because they're surrounded by water like we are, and they wanna put a battery storage unit right there on an old junkyard. And it's just a bad deal. From what I've read and everything else, it's just not good.
So I had an opportunity to check in with the planning board chair on my way in tonight.
Imagine that.
Well, he's actually out of the country, so
Oh,
it actually worked out pretty well.
God bless.
So we did discuss this. My understanding is that the planning board had a drafted letter relevant to this piece, and they're planning to review it at their next meeting. The chair did remind me that we just passed a best bylaw at our last annual town meeting, and that, you know, their letter, the town's letter, any response we have really should be outlining, you know, the town's position on best. So it may not say, you know, we think it should be blanketed across everything, but it should hold up to what we just approved. So with that being said, I guess my
Well-
request would be to hold off on sending anything in until the planning board has an opportunity, since they've been taking the steering on this piece with the best, and they've been the most involved.
Do you know when will they be meeting for that to do that?
Thursday?
They're not meeting this week.
It's
Well, would they be
they're doing the
meeting
second
before our next meeting?
right?
I would text
So
them.
it'll be before our next
Probably.
meeting.
I used to be the keeper of that calendar. I am no longer the keeper of that
So,
calendar, so I
I think
cannot
it's
answer
the,
that.
I think it's the first Wednesday of the month, and then
the second,
the third Thursday.
Our next meeting is the 18th of August.
I don't have a calendar.
The only reason I'm asking is if they are, then we can table this to the next meeting.
Well,
I think we should table it anyways. I don't think we're ready to take a vote on this.
Well, there's no vote needed tonight anyway, but this is just for discussion in terms of how we might wanna go on this.
I think we need more discussion, more details, more data.
No, they would meet on the 21st, I think, when we meet on the 18th.
All right, then.
And then you're actually having 3 joint sessions with them being one of them at the following meeting. But I don't know when the town of Oakham needs this by, if the town of Hubbardston were to do it.
So I think they're gonna have, I think theoretically they would have to wait, right? I mean, at least from my position, where the planning board's taken steering the lead on this one, I don't feel comfortable without hearing more from them.
It is more appropriate to have the answer, at least if it doesn't come from the planning board, to have the planning board kind of embedded into the answer from the town proper.
So are they, is the planning board not like in support of what they're doing?
I think they, so there's,
Or are they trying
my,
to
I would
protect?
speak.
my understanding is there's a lot of pieces happening right now at the same time with the best piece,
Yeah.
right? That there's large commercial projects, but at the same time, there's two different battery storage support lithium or something, I don't speak this language. Something else piece that are competing and people get confused with one versus the other, and I don't know which, and
Down there or here?
I understand there's semantics involved, that's all I know.
Oh, down there?
I don't know enough, I have not read
Yeah.
up to speed on this enough to opine, but I think, you know, it's worth finding a way, whether to Nate's point, we have a joint meeting coming up with PB anyway, and then we can always put it on the docket for that night to have that conversation, then we can do a joint letter, which would make more sense, whatever
Yeah.
that letter is.
Yep.
That sounds like a plan. So, we'll,
If there's a letter at all.
what,
If there's a letter at all.
Mike?
Mr. Chair, thank you. Mike Stahl, 5 Lombard Road. I may not quite have the committee name right, but the Ware River Use Advisory
Watershed.
Committee met a couple of weeks ago. I attended that meeting, and there was overall support. And our Hubbardston representative, Cindy or Cheryl, Cindy, she was there, so she can provide you the official feedback from that meeting, sir. Thank you very much.
All right, so we'll put this off.
And between now and then, I will do due diligence efforts to gain more of a meaningful response from my office that isn't just forwarding the email from Acorns to the select.
Okay. All right, we're putting off the preservation committee, and,
If anyone has any input on that.
Oh, I have
or is
lots of
it-
input, let me tell you.
Okay.
That whole
was just-
scenario,
That was
yes.
just me taking a swing at
I
it.
know, no, I have input, but that's my 2 cents for the Acorn things, but that's my.
Oh, I was talking about if anyone has any input on the first meeting house group.
Oh,
The
no.
Acorn thing. The Acorn thing.
Then we're
is-
just talking about the
That's
OCAM letter, like I have
Battery
lots of it, I'm
storage.
just gonna leave it alone for right now so we can move on. Talk
Okay.
about it later.
so we'll, and with these, we'll put the goals on the next meeting, so we'll go to the town administrator's report.
I put a very lengthy version of the town administrator's report on the website. You guys can feel free to read that and let me know if you have any questions. My new deal that I'm gonna do this year is try to put out quarterly big reports like that and give smaller, more pointed updates to you guys at each
Can I interrupt real
meeting.
quick? Don't we have to do something on new business here? Don't we have to vote?
We just voted, we voted already in the House deed,
Okay.
meeting House deed, we did
These
that
two we're
one.
putting up.
Yep,
Okay.
And then we're also putting off the goals to next week, and I'm just taking longer than I need to do to say that we can skip my report. And
Make a long story longer.
Policies.
Well, don't we have a lawyer on the line already?
Yeah.
Yes.
We're paying her right now, we're not,
Yes,
and we're
that's why
doing,
we're trying.
That's why we're moving through this.
can we just table this for now and come back after the, meeting with the lawyer?
it has
This
been
could
put
take-
on
could take a
the
long time.
agenda for public consumption that
Okay.
the board will not return
Okay.
to open session except for to adjourn.
$300 an hour or whatever it is. CGL.
We don't have any policies to review, correct?
No.
Okay, moving on.
Matters not reasonably anticipated by the chair.
I provided you with one of those. It's the paper, that paper. So, in an effort to make this as fast as possible, We are getting amazing candidates for Nancy's open positions, but we are not getting interest from those amazing candidates after realizing that the goal of the position was 19 hours a week, meaning it would be unbenefited and part-time, yet you would get still a decently heavy lift. I understand that with my efforts to automate certain parts of these jobs, that this request is indeed talking out both sides of my mouth. I 100% realize that and acknowledge it, and my statement to that is we are not automating to get rid of jobs. We are automating to allow us to do more with less. We already do not have the staff capacity to do a lot of the things that we need to do. The increase of this position, utilizing 2 to 4 hours that the Board of Health has offered to pay out of their revolving fund, the 4 hours, up to 4 hours that Patricia is no longer going to be utilizing as cable clerk, and the position as is in the land use budget will fund a complete 30-hour per week position. We do have a candidate that is interested in taking that role.
What's up, land use?
Land use is Leanne,
Yeah,
Duffy,
yeah,
Alec, Nancy,
okay.
like it's all,
Oh, okay,
it's
all of it.
$80,000 lumped into land use.
So you,
So what are you repurposing here to get to the 30-hour week?
Cable. And the Board of Health is offering to pay for their own time out of the Board of Health revolving fund.
So what was the building department prior? How many hours?
22, 24. Nancy was making more than that.
is paying it out of the revolving fund going to be sustainable, because Kathy does a lot of that stuff without getting paid for it, so what happens when she no longer does that?
We have to do a you can probably do a transfer.
I don't see that being too sustainable after FY '26 anyway, cause but I do see the tremendous value of an additional employee to assist Melody, Leanne, Patricia with the administrative side of things in that office.
Where do you plan on pulling that from? Eventually.
Eventually,
Eventually. Somewhere.
it will not be this year.
Yes,
Like-
I understand that.
You would budget for it.
Yeah, you would have to
And
budget.
Increase
I
the
would
budget.
budget
Is it gonna hurt
accordingly.
us? It's
It
not
will
a
not,
lot.
it's not a lot, and the gain, Melody, can you speak to the gain that we've received since Leanne arrived, whose birthday it is, happy birthday, Leanne, and what this position would do to aid in your area of town hall?
Well, as it is, there's, as you mentioned, there's always a lot of work, and with all the new permitting stuff, which Leanne has been doing, having someone new come on board with that, I think that Nancy's role needs more hours, cause she always is, she's a very diligent worker, and she works her butt off the whole entire time she's there. And then there's still
And once we
people calling
automate
when
some
she's
of
not
it,
there and all that
it is
stuff.
my hope to have this person assist with grant applications. My goal would be to
Oh, sorry, did I do that? This really?
So
So here's my concern, right? We see this every time we add a change of position. I always say the same thing,
we're
like,
not specializing positions.
well, it's always concerning, right? Like, we wanna make sure we never create a position for just a person, because if that person leaves, they can't manage it. We've tried in the past, the prior person who's doing the job had more duties on their job, and they felt it was not sustainable, so we divided again. Like, I just wanna get to a point where we get to like 2 years and we're not redoing the same job again, and I'm already, I was okay-ish, Nate, until we started saying, and then they can do grants, right? Like, this is already, you know, this is usually one of the hardest worked offices in an entire town, right? Because you're asking them to flip constantly, they're constantly, you know, they deal with the bulk of the complaints, they wanna do building stuff, people are very unhappy, you know, they end up with zoning stuff, even
Where
though
I'm
it's not
speaking
the
to
planning
extra
board.
capacity is the automation, not
I'm just, so if this is, you know, at the end of the day, this is your decision. If it goes great, you get the credit. If it doesn't go well, you get the feedback, right? So it's your decision. But I need to make sure I always go on record and say, you know, I would do this very cautiously, because a lot of times we're creating, it feels like we might create a position for someone we think would be perfect for it. They either don't take the position or they do take the position, but then they leave, and then we're back to the same problem we've had over and over.
I feel as if the administrative services coordinator and the proposed inspectional services coordinator would be able to be filled by any applicant that were to apply for said job for those amount of hours. We got very fortunate with our administrative services coordinator, and she was able to hit the ground running. I do feel strongly about at least 2, if not 3, of the candidates that we have that would be able to do this position successfully. It is the kind of future proposed candidate that had noted that she would take this job, also noted that it would be her intent to stay for some time, as long as it worked out, obviously, because you can't tell the future.
The key to that is the increase in the hours.
Yes.
And then $22 an hour is where on our wage and comp scale?
Poor.
Like, it just seems like a very flat number, right? So usually, you know, we're at like whatever grade, I assume we
It's
rescored
one
this.
step below Leanne and Patricia.
Okay.
So E3, E4.
Are they doing flat, or is there that long day on Tuesday?
They're not going to do the long
They're
day
not doing long day.
because of the hours. There's actually 34 hours
On the long day.
on work.
Okay.
So then when they had Board of Health meetings, they would flex their time and they would leave early on Thursday or something.
Yes, ma'am. That would be the
Can I
intent.
ask a
Go ahead.
question? Would they be able to come till 6, like start at 10 or whatever?
I will work on the schedule with them and you, because
Okay.
you are the department head in that office.
Because
So-
it's definitely, when Nancy was first leaving, she was advocating for there to be more hours, because she's only there 20 hours or whatever it was. A lot of the people that came in are always looking for either Board of Health and Building Department. Someone wasn't filling those hours for the last 10 or 14 hours, and so that puts a lot more load on Leanne and I. And yeah, because we're the only people who are there full time. So having something resembling full time for those 2 departments, to me, makes a lot of sense.
When asked if the administrative services coordinator was interested in the building role, it was as close to colorful responses as I've seen her get. So she is not interested in doing building in addition to her current role.
So all Nate wants from us now is, again, in the interest of time, because we have a lawyer on the phone.
You guys I can bring it back next time. if
Well,
you
let's see
can.
Well,
how- let's see how the board
you're
feels.
looking to hire. If you weren't looking to hire right now, I would totally ask to come back, but I don't wanna hold up the process
Yeah.
and put the rest of the staff behind even further trying to fill in.
So all he wants is to, us, if we so desires, to approve the creation of a 30-hour-a-week benefit eligible position at $22 an hour. If
So
we're so
moved.
inclined, could we have a motion?
Yeah, Heather just so moved it, I will second it.
Okay, motion's been made and second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Yes.
Opposed?
I will bring a formalized job description before you at your next meeting
Okay,
with a name.
Obviously.
Yeah.
public press?
Mr.
Nothing?
Mr.
Okay.
Chair.
Yes.
Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mike Stahl, 5 Lombard Road. I just want to very quickly clarify that I have full confidence that Nate and I can work on the quote-unquote boundary issue. Just so you know that the issue was proposed as boundaries, verifying them, versus boundary markers. The scope is hugely different between those 2 things, but it's a matter of wording, and we'll get that. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
All right, you're welcome. We now will be moving into, we'll need a motion to adjourn. We will not be returning to open session, so we're going to be adjourning into executive session pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Paragraph 21 1 and 3, to discuss complaints or charges brought against a public officer, employee, staff member, or individual, and to discuss strategy with respect to litigation if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the litigating position of the public body, specifically regarding the open meeting law complaint filed by Ms. Jill Mann dated July 16, 2025, and the matter of Jill Mann versus the town of Hubbardston Select Board and all, Worcester County Superior Court, etc. So this is a voice, roll call vote. So could we, motion for that?
Second.
Okay, Peter,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Heather,
Yes.
Katie,
Yes.
Jeff, yes. We are now in executive session.